Air Force history is on hand to watch the defending national champion Oklahoma Sooners. And just a short time ago, a light rain began falling as the Corps Drum and Bugle Corps is coming on the field here. Welcome, everybody. I'm Brent Musburger. Great storyline today. Fisher DeBerry's been the head coach at a successful one at the Air Force Academy, 18 years. Matched against an Oklahoma quarterback by the name of Nate Hibble, who is only starting his second game for the defending national champions. If you lock 5 guys in a room, he'll be the one that walks out after the battle. On first down, he hits Fleming, his go-to receiver. They put it up right away with Andre Wolfo starting both ways, making the stop for OU. So here are the backs and receivers. Palmer will be the workhorse today out of the option attack. Ryan Fleming over on the right, number 5, an All-American candidate at wide receiver. It is Miller time because Ben Miller is the ringleader of this untested offensive line, which will hold off this fierce OU front. There's the option look. Here's the pitch now to Palmer. Tries to get the corner. Run out short of the first down marker by Brandon Everidge, who's one of the stars of this defense. Harris, the 5-star recruit, is a true freshman. Started last week against North Carolina. Keep an eye on 97. Very hard to block. Linebackers, well, why not Rocky Kalmus for the Heisman Trophy, folks? It's wide open. He's such a great linebacker. Everidge made that stop. You got Roy Williams. You got Derek Strait. And here is number 20. We'll be keying in on him all day. Rocky Kalmus. Here's 3rd and short for the Academy. They'd love to get a first down in their first series. And Boyer takes the first hit and dives for the first down. And Gary, that is the one thing that they want to do. Keep possession of the ball and move the chains on Oklahoma.
When we talked to Chuck Peterson, the offensive coordinator for Air Force, he said early in the game, I don't want to feature a lot of triple option. I want to get Keith comfortable with the game. A little pass, and we were at the luncheon. What did Boyer say he wanted to do? Throw on first down, didn't he? I think
and indeed he did.
Exactly. So, you know, he's got the moxie that you're looking for to upset a big team.
First down, he brings the option to the nearest side. And a crease. So the Butterflies are settling down when you take a couple of licks from the Sooners.
I always think it's easier for an option quarterback to get rid of the Butterflies because you are going to get hit from that position. Notice already 2 plays designed for the quarterback to run the ball. He is into the game now. He's forgot all about whether he's nervous or whether it's Oklahoma. He's just running the plays.
2nd down and 8 against Kalmus and this Oklahoma defense. When you define a linebacker, you're talking about Kalmus. They're going to put it up again. And another first down out of the backfield to James Burns. So the fullback makes a reception, and Boyer starts out 2 of 2. And anybody who has followed the fortunes of the Air Force Academy is not shocked by what's unfolding here right now.
Yeah, Boyer could have won this job. And look at the tight end right here downfield, and I'm sure the coach will notice that later, Chuck Peterson, that the tight end on a little bootleg. But Boyer, Brent, and you referred to it, could have been the starting quarterback in 1999.
Play fake, and Boyer's going deep again. Got a man wide open. First down inside the 35 to Brian Labasco from Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
What the option does is force you into man-to-man coverage outside. You don't have to run 4-3 to beat defenders in man-to-man coverage. Little play-action pass. Labasco comes in, goes out. And when you're throwing the ball to the sideline, like all 3 of these passes have been, you don't get nervous as a quarterback because there's nobody out there. It's just friendly fans over there to look. If it's not there, toss it out of bounds.
So an impressive opening drive. Boyer coming again on a late pitch, a bad one out. Recovered by the Air Force Academy. Brown went hard with it. And as he tumbled out of bounds, he kept possession of it. That was very well defended, Gary, by OU that time. They had it really strung out that time.
And that's where the speed of OU has to make a difference. When the play is run sideline to sideline, guys like Derek Strait right there, and those linebackers that can run so well, Brandon Moore, Teddy Lehman, and Kalmus, should make those plays. But, Brent, I thought the halfback, and part of the strategy in pitching it is to make the halfback turn up. Should have turned up. It was a better pitch than it looked.
Second down and 14 for Boyer. Straight back. Had time. Fleming tried to break free, but Strait sticking right there with him, and Boyer threw it away. So here is Strait, their All-American candidate, on the corner. As Gary pointed out, we can't remember when we've seen as many All-American candidates in one defensive backfield as we see this year.
Three legitimate playmakers, don't you think, Grant? I mean, usually you're lucky to have one back there in college football.
Third down and 14 for the Falcons. And Boyer's got a man wide open, and he overthrew him.
Yeah, that's the one he would have liked to have.
Labasco was wide open, and Boyer overthrew him. Now here is the fourth down coming up. And don't be surprised if DeBerry passes up a long field goal attempt to try and pooch punt it down. He wants to play field position against Oklahoma. His plan, he told us, make the Sooners go 80, 85 yards. I don't want to give them field position off a missed field goal. So John Welsh, fighting tendonitis, has come into the game, and he will punt it at midfield and try to bury the Sooners.
And Oklahoma is not even putting a man back.
A great bounce for the Air Force inside the 10-yard line. Nate Hibble will have to go the long way for the Sooner Nation. Timeout. Nate Hibble will set up in the shotgun look on the Sooners' first play of the game, coming out from their own 7-yard line against the Falcons. They too will throw on the first play of the game, and it is incomplete. Going to have to hit receivers to score from his end zone. Hibble, pump fake, in pursuit on the run. Got a man wide open. Out of bounds on the far side. Antoine Savage was breaking free on that side.
One of the things you have to account for as a quarterback is when you roll out to the sideline like this, your momentum carries the throw out. Watch. Hibble's running as he throws it, and the ball drifts as he throws it, and it drifts right out of bounds. If he would have been standing still, that would have been a perfect throw. Of course, does not want to make a big play for Oklahoma. Punt the ball again. Keep the clock going, use the altitude, get the crowd behind you. I foresee a safe play for Boyer.
Lined up in an I, and again movement by the right tackle. So now the size and speed of the OU defensive front is starting to take a toll. The fellows in the offensive line are getting a little antsy down there.
Ball start on the offense, still third down.
This was time it was Joe Pugh, the right tackle. Last time it was the tight end, but you're right, Brent. It is an offense. Remember, only 2 starters return to this offense. The linemen are nervous too. We just don't talk about them as much.
So now you bring it back to 3rd and 12, and now you've really got your hands full. Boyer will run Palmer on the draw play, and he will not get away from that pursuing defense. Roy Williams, the hard-hitting, strong safety, makes the stop.
Good call, though. It doesn't really matter whether you punt the ball from the 45 going in or the 45 going out. Air Force, just punt it back. Take your medicine. You had 2 offside penalties. Punt the ball.
Damian Mackey is back deep for the Sooners.
Interesting. Air Force uses 4 gunners to the outside.
Oklahoma came close with that speed. They returned the favor, and they forced the bad punt. Fisher worked long and hard about protecting the punter. And when you use those gunners, Oklahoma said, go ahead and use the gunners because we're going to outnumber you at the football. And they almost did. Timeout. Look for Stoops and his offensive coaches to settle in with a more conservative approach in the second series here for OU. Look for them to try and use this offensive line to wear down that three-man front. They've got a size advantage, and let's see if they can use it. Not indeed. Mangino says we're going to go down, and it's incomplete, and suddenly they're in 2nd and 10. We want to check in on the game up the road. Colorado State. Here's John Saunders.
Well, Brett, here in the Coors Light update, you know Colorado already 0-1 on the season. Can't lose this one to the arch rival. DJ Bush is picked off by Donald Strickland. He takes it 31 yards for the touchdown, up 7-0. They've just added one on the ground as well. Right now, pending the kick, 13-0.
John, Fresno State is underrated. They took more heat than they should have for that loss. Screen pass is complete for a loss to Curtis Fagan. 3rd down and 12 now for the Sooners. Is an air attack. Underneath, nothing doing.
This defense.
We could take a look at the rushing offense, what the Air Force did, but it is hard going against Oklahoma here today. They had run for just a little over 10 yards so far in this game. So that Sooner front, just awesome, led by Calmus and friends.
Yeah, the front four, too, is highly underrated. Corey Klein was a second-team freshman All-American last year. The addition of Tommy Harris. They've got people up front that Air Force really can't handle one-on-one. They need the combo block, 2-on-1, and fool with trickery to run the ball.
Timeout has been called.
Yeah, illegal formation. Good recognition by Boye.
So use the timeout. He'll go over the sideline and talk about it with the coaches. 2nd down and 9 for the Air Force Academy. And our 1st and 10 is presented by Chrysler. Humble! Oklahoma! They made a living off turnovers against Carolina, and Brandon Moore, the senior from Freeport, New York, scoops up the fumble.
And typical unforced error with a new quarterback into a system, new fullback. It looked like Boye tried to pull the ball out. He thought the fullback had it. The fullback thought the quarterback had it. Look, if he gives the ball to the fullback there, Burns is into the secondary, a successful play. It looks like it's not a high-risk offense, but sometimes it is.
So now Hibble with his best field position of the day. And here comes Griffin. Griffin slants to the 25-yard line.
Well, let's look at the game breakers here that's going to determine this thing when Oklahoma has the ball. First of all, you've got the advantage in speed. You need to overpower them with them, and you do that by using all of it. Spread the wealth. All the eligible guys got to get the ball. Defense, you got to use that stealth bomber. Never let them know where you're coming from if you're Air Force. And then once the ball is completed or handed off, all 11 guys need to pursue it. Yards after catch will be huge in this game.
Scoreless between Oklahoma and the Air Force. But Nate Hibble and the Sooners with a great chance. Picked off on the Air Force Academy. A beautiful interception by Wes Crawley from Elk Grove, California.
This ball was thrown horribly behind the receiver. He needs to go way out to the sideline, but I think Matt McCraney hit Hibble just as he let the ball go. Watch how he has to come back for it. That's why the ball was intercepted. Usually when that happens, the quarterback is under duress. And I think he got hit by McCraney just as he let that ball go.
The Air Force dashes back out onto the field. So back-to-back turnovers in this game. First a fumble by the Air Force, then the interception by Oklahoma. Now from inside the 15, Boye on a late pitch to Palmer. And coming up from that secondary is Perkins.
was pressure from the outside. Hibble gets the ball back in the pocket. 59 coming right at him just as he, you know what, it was just as he followed through. I'm sure he felt it, but that's one you expect your quarterback to get the ball to the sideline. Pressure from different people. That's part of the game plan. That stealth defense that Air Force is going to work so hard on to keep Oklahoma off balance.
The secondary tackles so well for Oklahoma that on the pitch, they are on the halfbacks in a heartbeat. Play fake, Boyer in trouble, throws it away. No chance. So with 6:23 to go in the opening quarter with Gary Danielson and Jack Root, I'm Brett Musburger. Oklahoma, the defending national champion, ranked 3 in the country, coming off a big win over North Carolina in Norman, traveling up to Colorado Springs on this Labor Day weekend. They bring along 15,000 from the Sooner Nation. And right now, the Falcons of the Air Force Academy are hanging tough against Mike Stoops, the brother of the head coach and one of the co-defensive coordinators. Jack, what about our weather here today?
Well, Brett, there are dark clouds surrounding the horizon here, and they're not from the play of the Air Force Academy. They're telling me some severe weather is coming our way in as short a time as 20 minutes.
There's the quarterback draw play, and Boyer reaches the 15-yard line, and Teddy Lehman, the speedster from Fort Gibson, Oklahoma, the sophomore middleman.
One of the criticisms of Boyer was that he tries to do too much. Well, against this defense, it's hard to do too much because they got so much speed and they make up so much ground. Teddy Lehman, a sprinter out of high school, was he faster than Kalmus? They say he is.
John Welsh back to punt with Mackey to return. And Welsh hurried that one. He saw the man coming from his right side. And it is down, but it's inside the 50-yard line. Well, a big day of college football on ABC. Triple header. This, of course, the second game. And then tonight in prime time, you'll see either Miami against Penn State or Wisconsin taking on Oregon. Of course, if you've got the satellite dish and the full programming, you can check both of them out. Here come the Sooners, and sooner rather than later, Coach Stoops would like to see Hibble in this offense get something going, Gary. On a first down, he moves up under center. Griffin to the middle. Good 4-yard burst with Zach Johnson hanging on.
Defensive coordinator for the Air Force Academy is Richard Bell. One of the advantages that the Air Force had in not playing an early game, he decided to go visit Florida State. Look at what they did against Oklahoma with their defensive package. Mickey Andrews showed Richard what to do with 3-man rush, a lot of combo packages, and most of all, take away this guy right there. Quentin Griffin is the one they don't want to beat him.
Didn't spend much time with the offensive coaches of the Mariners, though. There's a first down. And the clock is stopped. The ball is put in Fagan's hands. He's a junior from Houston, Texas. So, as a package, these receivers, Fagan and Woolfolk and the rest of them, they are the best in the country. Folks, this is the best receiving package there is.
Watch how Griffin goes out and watch the linebacker just shadow him. They're going to force Hibble to throw the ball. There it is, right there. They're going to force Hibble to throw the ball to the receivers, not give him the easy throw in the backfield.
Hibble seems a little more comfortable under center than back in the shotgun. And bringing the end around this time, it's Fagan again. So number 12 as a receiver and as a running back coming off the wing.
John Bunning said he thought the game might finish 70-0.
There's Griffin on that inside handoff. Look how slick he is to daylight for the end zone. Griffin forced out of bounds at the 2-yard line. Saving the touchdown is Jeff Overstreet, but the Sooners are knocking on the door.
It's hard to say Quentin Griffin is underrated. Maybe because of his size, people discount the effect he has. I think he's the perfect back for this finesse offense that Oklahoma runs, because if you don't get him before he gets started, there's not many people that can handle this guy in the open field.
Mac Brown in Texas, never want to see him again.
Yeah, what, 6 touchdowns, was it?
Yes, it was. Touchdown, I believe. Hibble kept it himself.
Well, unless he has to get in with his feet,
Yes.
that should be good.
That's the latest signal by a linesman I've ever seen. Folks, go back in the quarter to those 2 penalties when the Air Force Academy had a 3rd and 2. Suddenly they were forced back to a 3rd and 12. The battle for field position has not been the same. We've had a couple of turnovers, and now Oklahoma strikes with Timmy Duncan set to add the extra point. The left-footed kicker does just that. Over the plays, Brandon Moore recovered a fumble. He took the pitch man outside and made the hit.
Well, one of the guys that Air Force thought they'd have to account for to be successful running the offense and the option is Brandon Everidge. You see the linebackers of first line right there. He's supposed to tackle the quarterback, but on the pitch, watch number 7 come up into your screen right there. That's the free safety. They haven't got to the free safety yet. That's a problem in the option.
3rd down and 6, and Boyer, middle. Oh, wow, completely hang on. He did indeed. Wrapping it up is Ricky Amezaga, the junior from Grapevine, Texas. What a pop he took from Brandon Moore, who's playing a great game.
Yeah, I don't think he had any choice but to catch this one. Brandon Moore was right. There was no ejector seat on this one. He had to ride it all the way down. Play action pass coming right across into there. The linebacker on the outside is going to meet him right there. This is how it works when you run the crossing route. Get him the ball. Everybody's doing everything right, including that guy right there.
1st down. Fleming is in the slot to the left. And now Boyer pitches the other way, trying to get Palmer some dancing room. And there's your man Everidge cleaning up on the play, Gary.
2 of them, though.
And he's limping off. Everidge was injured last week. He's down on the ground. Number 7 for Oklahoma. This could be huge for him.
Yeah, Sims is out, the backup, so I'll bet Matt McCoy might be the guy they have to bring in, who's really a strong safety.
Oh, what a shame to see this young man go down again. What a player he is.
Watch how quick Oklahoma is. On the pitch, they've got 2 guys out there to stop this. There's not a back that can beat number 2 straight. And number 7, who actually, Everidge,
Kalmus came over.
Yeah, it was Kalmus. He twisted it and almost did it himself, hog-tying Palmer down. Kalmus comes flying across. That's the pursuit. And Mike Stoops says, I got one of my game breakers on the field. One more look, number 7. See, it almost looks, Brent, that he does it himself, doesn't it? I really think he does. He tries to get leverage and twist Palmer down, and he twists his own ankle. Sometimes, if it's one that's already been hurt, he could have just tweaked it. It didn't look like a tweak, though, did it?
No, it didn't.
You don't carry guys off with tweaks. Those are twists. Pretty good.
Oh, I hope he's going to be all right.
Pretty good run, though, by Palmer, getting something out of nothing. I mean, that's a win for Air Force to gain that many yards, 4 or 5 yards on a play that was really defense by Oklahoma, and keep the clock going, keep the ball away from Oklahoma's offense. That's a win.
Second down and 5 for the Air Force, and Boyer looking to go deep again, incomplete. And he overthrew Fleming, and he was double covered. So Keith Boyer, the senior from George West, Texas. And folks, how big is George West? Well, today's crowd is 20 times larger than his hometown. The last game of importance he ever played was back in 1997, Texas 3A championship game for George West. And now the young man in against the defending national champions, facing a 3rd and 5 and bringing the Air Force up to the line of scrimmage.
There's the new free safety right there, number 34, Matt McCoy.
Boyer going to keep it. Boyer was close.
I think he crossed that yellow line, if that thing's very accurate. Did he bounce across it, or did he? I think he made it.
You could see Mike Stoops yelling for one of his players to come up and seal on that play. You can Now, without Everidge out there, he loses a big-time hitter who can come up and seal that point of attack.
McCoy has to be more conservative than Everidge. He's new at the position. Oh, they got one of those stick things. They don't have to drag the whole chain out here.
That was so misleading, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I said, can our yellow line be that far off?
Exactly.
That was my first gut reaction to that until you pointed out.
You know what? We have our budget is hurting. We're cutting down on our chain. We're using half a chain this year. That's what happened to our surplus here.
Oh, man. I took a deep breath.
I know. I said, me too, because I was out on the limb with that yellow line. I'm saying, all right, I know.
How am I going to calm my way out of this? Here's McCoy. Marker replacing Everidge. And first down, the Air Force Academy trailing the Sooners 7-0. We've still got 1:48 left in the first. And Boyer brings the option. Well, one thing about him, he is a toughen. He took another lick from Williams.
And that's what Chuck Peterson, the offensive coordinator here at the Air Force in his second year, said about Keith. He said physically he's a better runner than Mike Thiesman. He's got a good arm, but he doesn't have the knack of where to throw the ball like Mike did a year ago.
You know, Fleming was in this substitution package, and now he goes back off to the far side. But in watching him, number 5 of the Air Force Academy is having a tough time.
Those corners are locking up on him, aren't they?
They sure are.
With one shift by Air Force and 4 people change for Oklahoma.
Boyer, incomplete, and I had to hold up for a second in case it was intercepted. Now it is time for our Pacific Life game summary between the Air Force Academy and Oklahoma. OU well defending the option on the outside, and then it was Griffin breaking free on a slant to the 2-yard line and setting up the only touchdown of the game.
Oklahoma really has the feel of the post corner move that Air Force likes to run with their wide receivers. They're not biting on the post.
3rd and 7. There's a screen pass, a flanker screen, short of the first down. And Rocky Kalmus again. Talking to the coaches, I said, what a thing it is to have Rocky Kalmus, who's such a fine linebacker, but he's fast enough to go back and shut down receivers for you. And he, of course, was an outstanding high school fullback. So he brings a lot of speed, like Lehman, who's a sprinter next to him at that linebacking spot. 4th and 1, and let us see what Coach DeBerry wants to do here. He's down 7, and maybe he's picking up the wind here. He's going to let the clock run out.
One of the things he's going to do is wait. Yes.
Just let the seconds tick down here. You can see it running out. The Air Force Academy trailing by a touchdown here in the first quarter. It was a lot different, folks, against North Carolina last week. That game was virtually over.
Well, I give North Carolina a lot of credit, though, hanging in there and not game. But you're right. You hand the ball to Oklahoma, they're going to.
Now the Stoops brothers in a little brotherly discussion down there.
They're not arguing over inheritance either.
No. Oh, Bobby's unhappy with Mike.
You can't do much better than a shutout.
No, So with 6 seconds left.
Remember, because there's 4 wingers, the blocker and the punter, that's 6. That means only 5 people are blocking up front. Oklahoma is playing it safe here, though. They will not rush, and it looks like another delay of game.
Dead ball, delay of game on the offense. 5 yards from the previous stop. Still 4th down.
You don't see that happen much.
Fisher's unhappy.
Yeah,
Fisher DeBerry is unhappy.
I think he's
unhappy, going up toward the official
with the way the clock
with the timing.
Set.
He wants that timing mechanism. He said, who called timeout? That's what Fisher wants to know.
Well, they had a delay of game. That's what stopped the clock.
And they punted out of bounds as time expires here in the first quarter. And you can see the referee and the netback judge line it up at about the 17-yard line. Good punt. So Hibble, he has taken his licks, but he comes back with the game's only touchdown. Oklahoma up by 7. Timeout. We start the second quarter. Oklahoma's possession. They lead it by a touchdown. And Griffin's big run, a large part of their rush yardage here. And they're going to come back with that play. And this time the Air Force Academy bunches it up after a short gain. And we have had late word that the storm is about 10 minutes away. But it does not have lightning in that cell. It's supposed to be some rain. And we saw the grand old flag whipping around here as it's coming in, and obviously should hit during the second quarter here with the Air Force Academy on defense. They put 4 down linemen. They change the front, and Hibble goes back to the shotgun. Incomplete. The ball is dropped by Antoine Savage.
Well, the difference in that look for the Air Force with 4 down linemen is really, though, just a linebacker putting his hand down. So again, Oklahoma doesn't know from the sideline before they snap the ball, and the coaching staff can't help Hibble on what front he's going to have. Every time he comes up, it might be 3, it might be 4, because the linebacker, number 59, McCraney, is the guy that's going up sometimes and down the other. There he is, right there.
The design was to give him different looks. This time the blitz. Got a man. Dropped.
That's 2 straight
at midfield. 2 straight drops by Savage. Woo. And we go to New York for an update. Here's John Saunders.
All right, Brent, Syracuse facing Tennessee. Casey Clausen, this is the first play from scrimmage. He wants it all. 37 yards to Dante Stallworth for the touchdown. Tennessee on top. Syracuse already with a loss this year. It's 7-0.
Yeah, and Casey Clausen, John, could put himself into that Heisman chase here before it's over. As Oklahoma is forced to punt after 2 passes are dropped. The OU front trying to block everybody. Ferguson gets it off. What a punt over Palmer's head. He's going to not touch it. He's going to let it roll down, and that's a wise decision. Once he touches it, he was going to get creamed. That's a 71, count it, 71-yard punt. An ABC Sports presentation of college football brought to you by Chevy Trucks, the most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road. Nunivia for Men Aftershave Balm, more evolved skincare. Pepsi One, the first 1-calorie cola that tastes more like a regular. Pepsi One, this one's just right. And Aflac, without it, no insurance is complete. The Air Force Academy backed up inside its 10-yard line. After that punt, folks, you just put Ferguson down as All-American this year. He's awesome.
Had 2 great plays in this game so far.
Straight ahead and nothing doing. Look at this burst.
Brandon Everidge is back in the game, and he overran the play from the safety position. So let's go back to a tweak. You know, when you have a new quarterback and all your receivers back, you expect game players to make plays like that. Everidge has to come back and help the quarterback. This time from defense, there he is, and what does he do? Overruns it. Nice cutback by Boyer. He also gets by Lehman.
They say it's a high ankle sprain. Boyer busts for the first down before Brandon Moore can bring him down. So Boyer is suddenly the leading rusher in this game. 9 carries for 40 yards. Griffin for Oklahoma is 4 of 37.
When you talk to the Air Force people, they thought this year the Air Force attack would look more like it used to look, meaning the quarterback would gain ground on the gain ground running the ball instead of the yards through the air like last year.
Short drop, high and incomplete. Dangerous throw against this speed. And let's find out what Colorado State is doing. They were trailing Colorado. John, what's up in Denver?
3rd down.
We're down 14-0 at one point, as you said, Brent, but DJ Bush going to work. Short toss here, 3 yards to Joel Dreesen, but he gets them on the board as they are now in the second quarter, 14-7. The Buffs still with the lead, Brent.
Yeah, John, and Sonny Lubick has beaten Gary Barnett in Colorado a couple of times. For you folks who are not here in Colorado, the heat is on Barnett. I will tell you right now that the Denver Post was all over him this week for that loss to Fresno. Says he's alibi, and this is almost a must-win for that program in Colorado with the clock running out.
Dead ball. Delay a game. Offense.
Oh, that'll make the coach mad.
Second down.
Critical mistake for Keith Boyer. He's a young quarterback, but he's also a senior quarterback. He needs to look straight ahead. That play clock is right in front of him, right between the goalposts. Need a timeout. This is not an offense that makes up yards like this, 2nd and 15 easily. Man, this damn thing.
Officials are livid about this decision because they come out from awkward field position. Now it sets up a 2nd and 15. You do not want to be in that against this Sooner D. Here's the pitch to Palmer. Everidge is there. He slips Everidge, but not Lehman.
I'll tell you, Everidge is a monster coming up. They're going to have to get him with a play-action pass. They're going to have to take advantage of his aggressiveness. Watch him. He's the one who's not accounted for in option football. Watch him run up there and make the play. They need to get the play-action pass, run the deep post behind him as he's coming up to make that play. But you know what happens? Oklahoma's playing man-to-man on the receivers. They don't fear him out there at all.
Fleming is split way outside to the left. Boyer looking, wants it, goes to him high, deflected, incomplete. Trying to get the ball to number 5. Perkins, the defender for OU.
Perkins is a freshman. He's part of the nickel package. He and Andre Wolfo kind of share that other corner spot opposite Derek Strait.
Now Welsh, he's been rattled a little bit as a punter.
Hey, no more 4 Hawks. They've gone back to their normal punt formation. Only 2 Hawks this time.
Mackey. Great protection just short of midfield for Oklahoma. 12:30 to go here in the first half. Oklahoma leads the Air Force by a touchdown.
When Bobby Stoops came to Oklahoma, he brought a passing attack that he kind of stole with Mike Heath from Kentucky. One of the things is the tight end always lines up to the right.
Content with Griffin, and that's short of the first down. This will be 3rd and about 2 coming up here for Oklahoma. Got some nice play by Zach Johnson, the nose man out of Junction City, Oregon, who's holding his own down there. Look at what Iowa did today. That could be a team that could surprise everybody. Louisville with their big-time passing attack. And Mark Richt opened his career with a win. And Illinois, mark it down, folks. Illinois could be a sleeper. They're out in Berkeley today. Incomplete, and great defense that time by Joe Bilo, the junior corner, playing in the nickelback on that formation. Did the job.
Yeah, everyone on the Oklahoma sideline thought Bilo had his arm on his back on this one. Did he? Let's see what happens here. Little first down pass right over the middle. Let's see what happens. Was his arm there? I think it was. He grabbed his right arm and kind of twisted the receiver. Home call.
With Big 12 referees. These are not Mountain West referees, I want to point out right away. So we've got a timeout. Duncan on for a field goal attempt, and we'll take a break. Tim Duncan to attempt a 47-yarder. Backup quarterback Jason White is his holder. Boomer Sooner. What a kicking game they've got. It's 10-0 on the Duncan 47-yarder.
Oklahoma methodically moving the ball, but not doing it in the way most Oklahoma fans recognize their offense doing it, and that's throwing the ball, relying on their Fab 5 receivers. I think Air Force is looking out there and saying, we're doing all right holding them down, but they do not feel good about the way they've been able to run the ball against Oklahoma's speed. The secondary has been too much. That speed in the secondary, Benton, we talked about, with 3 playmakers, has bottled up the receivers and shut down the option. Ball is thrown, but another play where Boyer is showing that if he's given the time, he can put the ball and throw well enough to make this offense work.
They've held Fleming of the Air Force Academy to 1 catch for 7 yards. Boyer to the 41-yard line, and it'll be 2nd and short on that fine burst.
Yeah, that's a designed running play for the quarterback. You fake to the fullback, and the motion man comes around and leads for the quarterback. People that play down the line and try to play position defense against you, it's almost a power play to offset that.
10 carries for 48 yards for number 18. He moves up under center. Picks his way and got whacked. You can see how they just stopped him from reaching the yellow first down line there.
Yeah, that time it was Tommy Harris that got off his block, the freshman sensation, and Everidge coming up from the secondary.
That 1st and 10 this quarter is presented by Chevy Trucks. This will be 3rd and 1. Now, Gary, in this situation, you played a lot of option quarterback actually before you went to the NFL. Would you just take the quarterback right straight ahead and try to power for it?
Try to use the fullback, either fake or give it to him.
Which they do. They fake to him, just what you called, and a first down at the 45-yard line. And for his first start, even though he's made some timing mistakes, young Boyer's done all right here for Coach DeBerry.
And both quarterbacks have. You know, you look at Josh Heupel last year, the expectations for Hibble are high. Same for Boyer. Mike Thiessen put on a year last year in the post-option type offense. He threw for 1,600+ yards. That's going to be tough to make up for Boyer. More of a running attack.
Boyer again. Got a seam. That's a first down, and that's the best Air Force Academy run of the day. What a beauty that was.
The strategy of starting out with different plays and then move on to the option is working. You take the aggressiveness of these linebackers and the speed, and you use it against them. This time, Rocky Kalmus overruns the play. Watch number 20 right here. He sees it. He says, all right, coach said, get to that option. He's out there. He's out there. Too far. Goes, jumps over a guy, and the cutback is beautifully run by the quarterback.
The Air Force moves to the OU 44. Wide open. And Clark with a penalty flag coming late on the play. He reached the 30-yard line, and a big play is about to become bigger.
It might be, though, offensive face mask.
Oh, my.
I thought Clark, I saw him straight arm, and I wonder if he got Everidge or if it was the other way around. We will see. Looks like the way the body language is going, it's against Oklahoma. It's the counter play this time. Again, making guys go one way, coming back the other, into the secondary.
Face mask on the defense.
Just slightly. Everidge came across and just got him on the face mask. Reaches out, very obvious. See the other hands going this way over here. One hand each. Defense got the face mask.
You know, Matt May, the center, he did a fine job of helping out on that block and opening up that hole on the left side that time. He's out of Lamar's, Iowa. First down. Boyer going to cut back. Tough team to cut back against.
I really think it's your only hope, though, Brett. I mean, you can't outrun them to the sideline very often, so you got to work on your cutback game. But, you know, you talked about those offensive linemen. I don't want to give the impression that these guys are small little grunts here. They go 270, 280. They're not the 330 type modern offensive linemen. But back, you know, maybe 15, 20 years ago, this was the average size lineman.
2nd down and 7 for Boyer. There's that pitch. Anthony Butler. He's a young man that they think the world of here at the Air Force Academy. Great upside. Carrying for the first time here today. And a reminder that September 10th, that's a week from Monday. Join ABC for the regular season premiere. Monday Night Football. The NFC champion New York Giants travel to Denver to face the Broncos at their brand new stadium. That's next Monday night. Live at 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific. So the Air Force Academy 4 of 9 on 3rd down. They trail it by 10.
But 4 of 9 is you don't expect to make them from 3rd and 6. Let's see if Oklahoma uses man-to-man and forces the situation.
Boyer is wrestled to the ground by Rocky Kalmus.
Great play by Kalmus. He took on the lead blocker and caught the quarterback. This is why this guy's an All-American right here. Watch Kalmus. Takes on one guy, runs away from the guard, and tackles the quarterback. Whoa, is that an All-American play?
Whoa. Just ship the butkus.
Yep.
The Norman, ladies and gentlemen, and maybe other pieces of hardware. And now Brooks Walters to attempt a 35-yarder to put the Air Force Academy on the board. And he does just that. Walters puts the Air Force on the board. Fisher DeBerry liked it. They moved down the field impressively that time. They're still in this game, folks. Timeout. Folks, that was the most impressive drive of the game. 63 yards for a field goal for the Air Force. What turned it around for them?
I think establishing the quarterback. They got the option game going and cutback running. Big things. 3 points, but also they forced that defense to stay out there for 11 plays. That'll show up late in this game. That's a part of the game plan.
Out in force here today. Largest crowd ever. This for the Air Force Academy. And Joey Ashcroft will kick it off. He was busted one last week. And they're coming out in their own end zone this time. That's Fagan. Stacked up right about the 20-yard line. And now we will watch Nate Hibble and the offense go back to work.
Nate Hibble now has to just focus on his job. He's had a couple guys drop balls on him. Even though he says he hasn't been reading the papers, he reads. He understands that he's under the gun. The expectations for this program are not going to be met unless the quarterback can win a couple games. And to do that, he has to find that passing game. Right now, if I'm him, I'm telling you, I'll get the ball there. You guys do your job, catch the ball, and the offense will start.
Hibble flashes one out to Griffin in that flat. There's a penalty flag.
Yeah, that's holding out there. I think it was Andre Woolfolk, number 17, who's blocking downfield that just latched on. If I get this, Brent, what am I, 2 for 3 or what, 3 for 4 or where am I? I got the first down run. Hey,
there you go. Co-defensive coordinators at Oklahoma, Brent Venables. Once upon a time, Missouri was very interested in him, and Joe Castiglione, the outstanding athletic director at Oklahoma, told us because they were approaching that Florida State National Championship game, Brent said, no thanks. I don't want to be distracted. I'm going to stay right here. But he is one of several members of this staff who someday will move on and become head coaches. That's the way it is when you have a very successful staff like this. And, of course, younger brother Mike Stoops, he also is expected to move on someday. But these are the co-defensive coaches, and they are a great scene on the sideline. Very animated, the two of them. Now first down for the Sooners. There's that inside shuttle. Griffin breaks the tackle. It was well defended.
Absolutely.
And the Air Force simply did not make the tackle.
Right. Defense was designed to take away that play, but athletically couldn't do it. I think it's number 46, Jamie Arthur, that is supposed to, his assignment is supposed to be that guy right there, number 22. It is Arthur. He just misses the tackle. You depend on your guys when you design a defense to take away at least one thing. They're trying to take away Quentin Griffin.
Now Hibble. Great protection this time. Oh, my. Almost intercepted. There's Overstreet. The safety with the upside here in Colorado Springs.
What a defense. A zone this time. Everybody's just dropping in zones. And when Hibble looks up, look at the linebacker go for Griffin. Nobody to throw to. Look at that spacing. Everybody's got watching the quarterback. All those guys. No one for Hibble to throw to. All the time in the world, 3-man rush. But nobody to go when he lobs the ball up. Just enough air for that deep safety to cover territory and almost come up with it.
Hibble and the Sooners face a 3rd and 13. must reach the 30-yard line for a first down. And he did. Yeah. First down, Oklahoma. Damian Mackey.
Very interesting right there. The defensive system played in and out on Mackey. Two guys, 1, 2 are going to cover Mackey. Out here, man-to-man. Kibble goes to the guy that has two guys covering him. A misread. Should not throw to him. Better talent, good throw, first down.
And even the man on the outside who was manned up was covered that time.
Exactly.
That's pretty good by the Air Force Academy. And like you said, athletic talent.
That's that Mickey Andrews system, playing combo coverages.
I got a man running free. Woolfolk breaks one inside the 15-yard line with Overstreet saving the touchdown. And Hibble comes up with his biggest pass play of the season. 54 yards to Andre Woolfolk, who grew up the road in Denver.
This is the vertical. They ran the square last time. This is the 4 down the seams. 4 receivers, a little bit of a crisscross running down the seams. It's a staple of every spread offense. But look at this offensive line. They're only really rushing 3 people here. No, it's 4 with a linebacker. That Hibble says is nice.
Griffin on the inside handoff.
Nate Hibble right there says that's like a stick in a 3-iron from 205 yards within 2 feet.
Brought down by Fenry.
Throwing that ball up the seam, changing the field upside down. Now he's starting to feel comfortable with the game plan, and maybe the coaches will start to feel comfortable in him and call more of those plays.
3 minutes left in the first half, and the Air Force Academy hanging on. Looking for a play here. Second down. Blitz. Touchdown. Smith, the tight end. Hibble reads the blitz. Hits the tight end, Trent Smith. And now Oklahoma with a little breathing room. That's a big drive for Mr. Hibble.
That was roommate to roommate. They share toothpaste and a touchdown right now.
And Duncan adds the extra point.
The big play forced Air Force for the first time to come with an all-out blitz. 7 people will come. The linebackers, 4 men up front. That forces man-to-man coverage. Smith wins off the line of scrimmage real quickly. There's nothing going to happen to Adam Haynes. He gets beat. And the right-handed quarterback, remember Heupel was left-handed a year ago, goes to the tight end, who always lines up right.
He expected a lot of passes against North Carolina. It didn't come. But here today, Smith is a recipient of one. Jaggeroo.
Well, Gary, as you said, Smith and Heupel are, well, they're roommates. So what do? When the sun goes down, they like to practice toss the pigskin. In fact, Trent Smith said, don't be surprised if I catch some passes. He says, the turf is a lot easier than the blacktop in front of our duplex apartment.
2 minutes and 46 seconds like lightning. OU strikes. What an impressive drive that was. The Air Force Academy had cut the lead back to 7. And now it's 17-3. So daylight for the favored Sooners. And this is coming out on the 20-yard line. And a reminder that coming up at halftime, the Valvoline halftime show. John Saunders and Terry Bowden from Times Square Stadium in New York. Scores and highlights from across the country. And a preview of tonight's 2 games. So you want to stay tuned for that. Find out how Colorado's doing against Colorado State.
Cannot be panic in Air Force. You don't look at 2:41 and say we got to hurry up and score. You have to run your own offense. You try to do too much here, you can turn the ball over.
First down. Picks up a couple of yards before Roy Williams makes a stop.
Boyer, the ball carrier, brought down by Roy Williams. Second down.
The Oklahoma defense, they shut down the big go-to receiver. They have held Fleming to 1 catch.
First
Ryan
play of the
Fleming,
game, right?
Wyoming, Ohio, with his father and grandfather here, and what a job they've done on him here today. Boyer, short of the first down.
Oklahoma has all 3 timeouts, but with Air Force in a position to pick up the first down, I think they'll just sit on it. Ted Recchi-Kelmus limping around out there.
Waving him off.
Oh.
And Stoops wants him to come over on this timeout. Coming toward the top of the hour, the Air Force Academy uses a timeout here with 1:53 to go. Largest crowd in the history of Falcon Stadium here. Jack Arute and Gary Danielson. I'm Brett Musburger. The Sooners struck first. They led it 10-0 before the Falcons kicked a field goal. And just a short time ago, Hibble, his most impressive drive of the season, struck like lightning to get that 7 back, and now it is 17-3.
I know the long pass down the seam is really what set up the touchdown, but what set up the drive was the crossing route on 3rd down. That was his best throw of the game. I think that's when Hibble said, boy, I feel comfortable, and that's when Woolfolk and his receiving teammates said, we got a guy that can get us the ball. Coaching staff calls it, next play's a big play, and they get points.
Let's check in with Jack.
Well, as Gary Danielson said, that man, Keith Boyer, is a real street fighter. But one of the things that Chuck Peterson has been very concerned about is the fact that in situations like this, he tends to try and do it all himself. In fact, when they talk on the phone, because Peterson is topside, Peterson says he guards against that by trying to keep Boyer calm. Let's see how he did.
1:53 to go for Boyer on this 3rd down. Nothing doing. Did you see Everidge come into that pile late? Did you see number 7?
He cleaned it up. But look at Derek Straits up there.
He reminds you of a Kenny Easley type when he comes up to pop you like that. Wow.
His body frame reminds you of a Kenny Easley, too. The All-American from UCLA. Played so long with the Seattle Seahawks. But there he is. But you know what's nice for him today, Brent? He has really no responsibilities but the running game. It's man-to-man for almost 85 to 90% of the game, and he is responsible for that quarterback and pitch man.
Oklahoma has used their last timeout of this half.
So now the Air Force forced to give it back, and Hibble and the Sooners have plenty of time to strike again. 145 with the impressive passing attack that we just saw. They could come right down the field, and they could start with Mackey, giving them decent field position. So the pressure is going to be on John Welsh to punt this one out of here, and the Sooners might even come after Mr. Welsh on this one. They rattled him early in this football game, and this is a coaching staff that'll go for the juggler, and they don't give you many opportunities. Not a particularly good punt. Here comes Mackey. 45 to the 42-yard line. Great field position coming up for OU.
Rogers' punt was returned by number 13, Damian Mackey. Brought down
Well,
by
next Saturday we'll be back with another great college football tripleheader. Starts at noon Eastern with North Carolina at Texas, followed by number 10 Michigan against Washington, and then at prime time at 8. Gary and I will be in Lincoln, Nebraska. Notre Dame goes to Lincoln, Nebraska for the first time since 1948 to take on the Cornhuskers. Folks, what a scene that is going to be next Saturday night in Lincoln.
Everybody who loves college football will be tuning into that one.
No timeouts left, but with a passing game and the clock stopping on first downs, shouldn't matter to OU. And Hibble getting great protection now. Mostly for Smith to go deep. Throws wide. Penalty. Interference on the tight end who was reaching back for the ball inside the 5-yard line.
Well, college rule make it a 15-yard penalty. But again, Hibble out there directing. You know, it seems like as the strategy of the game, he's not so worried about his technique now or listening to things. He's just playing ball, and that's what happens. Again, it's Adam Haynes. Loses Smith, never gets turned around, and he's forced to take the pass interference. He can't afford to have that thing caught right there.
Plenty of time, great field position. DeBerry has to be discouraged by what's happened here in the last couple of minutes of the first half. He had just climbed back in the game, but for Sooner fans, the arrival of Nate Hibble could be at hand. His confidence has to be brimming right now. Middle, got him in again. Fagan inside the 10-yard line. That'll stop the clock. Remember, they're out of timeout, so he'll bring him up now at 1:14. The coaches will pay close attention to how Hibble handles this drive. They're involved in the Big 12 conference, which figures to be perhaps the most competitive in the country this year, with teams like Kansas State, certainly Texas, Nebraska, and all the others. And they'll want to see how Hibble handles this situation. Griffin's going to run it. Strange call if you're out of timeouts.
Well,
he can take the snap, I suppose, and kill it right now.
Well, he's still got a minute, and they call all their plays from the line of scrimmage. So they still have plenty of time to run two more plays. If they have to kick the field goal, they have to. Quentin Griffin's been so good at scoring on that play. I can understand why they use it.
You're right.
Uh-oh, penalty. I think the clock.
Dead ball. Prior to the snap. False start on the offense. 5 yards. Still second down.
I think that mental clock in Nate Hibble has started to realize in the pocket that he's not going to get a lot of pressure. He's slowed down. He's taking his time, and he's just picking apart the secondary now.
Smith is flexed way off the line to the right side. Incomplete. So he overthrew his target, Savage. And
as a coach right there, you like that. Okay, if you don't hit him, make it be high. Let's not throw it to one of those linebackers that you can't account for sometimes. Get us a touchdown, Nate, or make sure you don't blow a field goal for us.
Now it is third down. Hibble in trouble. Throws it away wisely rather than taking the loss. Stops the clock with the incompletion. Duncan in the field goal unit trot onto the field here with 26 ticks of the clock left.
And here's how you have to keep watching this game if you're an Oklahoma fan. Hibble has to get better. As Brent mentioned, Texas, Kansas State.
Griffin, 89 yards. He's rushed for here today after that 15-yard run. So he figures to get his 100. Here he is, slipping a tackle. And he picked up 11 more yards. That's 101 yards. He broke it with that run right now. Let's find out about Colorado State. John Saunders.
Right, with the Coors Light update, Colorado State quarterback DJ Bush had already been picked off once for a touchdown, and this ill-advised toss. Michael Lewis steps in, tears it back 41 yards, so Bradley Van Pelt, the transfer from Michigan State, is now in as the quarterback for Colorado State as they trail it 24-7. Brent.
John, it's going to be a huge win for Coach Barnett, and do not count them out in the Big 12. And there's Griffin stumbling and maintaining his balance for another first down, adding to his total with every yard here on this charge.
Quentin Griffin is a true junior. In his freshman year, he was forced to give up his red shirt 6 games in when injuries forced him to play. And he is, Griffin, I think, the key to this offense. You have to take him away. Air Force did a good job of it, but now Mark Mangino has adjusted and said, all right, you want to take him away? We'll line up and just hand it to him. Try to take that away.
Ronaldo Works is in for Griffin. A little bit winded on that play. And Ronaldo goes to work. On the offensive line, it's a clinic blocking up front.
Ronaldo works.
Well, just think about that front three, Probert, Johnson, and Pendry. They've been having to rush the passer all game. We've talked about wearing a defensive line down with the option, but you can wear a defensive line down with passing, too. You throw those quick passes, force them to get out of their stance all day, and now you run right at them.
Yeah, this offensive line right now, they're just dominating this football game. Works to the 15-yard line. Made the most out of it.
Works the ball carrier.
Reminded now, prime time. We've got a couple of games. We'll split the country tonight. You'll see either Miami battling Penn State or Wisconsin taking on Oregon tonight at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific on ABC.
I like the two teams you don't like in that game. Who do you like in those two?
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to take the two. You can have first pick in both games. That's how good those games
I'll take Penn State and Oregon.
Okay, I thought you'd take one like Penn State and Miami. Then you couldn't lose.
Second down. Complete inside the 10-yard line, and Fagan juggles it.
Dropped it.
Air Force pounces on it. They think they've got it. They'll unpile.
I think so too. It's a great read by Hibble on this play too. Got the ball to the right guy.
Celebration.
That was a put the game away drive and a turnover. Watch the read. He reads this guy. He comes up, throw to the place he leaves. Perfect read by Hibble. Gets it in, and just a ham on the play by Jamie Arthur right there. Gets his hand, swats that ball away from behind. Most fumbles are caused from behind like that when you get the ball in the secondary.
Gary, didn't he make him turn completely around on the reception?
Yeah, but I said it was a great read. I didn't say it was a great throw.
Oh, okay. I
mean, you know, it's first game here, you know?
I got it. Just want you to know I'm listening and watching. ABC Sports presentation of college football is brought to you by the 2002 Pontiac Bonneville Luxury with Attitude. Bud Light, the great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down. Make it a Bud Light. And the Olive Garden. When you're here, your family. So we have it.
Yeah, it's big Justin Pendry right there.
Yep.
One of the three seniors that played defensive line.
He recovered the fumble.
Yep.
Bellingham, Washington. He's got the fumble.
Not used to having that ball, is he?
Well,
still, I'd say
Fisher to Berry with it. You know, Fisher's got one of the great lines, folks, when they ask you about recruiting and keeping up with the schools. He said, we can't promise a youngster a car, but if he makes it 4 years with us, we can give him a jet airplane when he leaves. Is that good or what? First down and 10. Boy, he takes a look at that 10-yard line. Averages. Man.
Everett, this is a dream game for Everett. You know, he saw the game plan on Monday, and he said, that's all I got to know. I just got to go after the ball the whole game, coach. I don't have to know where to go on coverages. I don't have any fancy in and out coverages. I don't need to know any blitz packages. Just run and tackle the guy. I'll see you Saturday.
And here he is. Straight is matched up with Fleming toward the bottom of your screen. They just cannot get Fleming involved. They don't even look at him right now.
And in fact, the defensive backs are barely taking a step back on those passes. Started the game early with that pass, but now it's forcing perfect throws. And you're right, Fleming, a non-factor.
Caught the first pass of the game, and he has been quiet ever since. And his father here from Wyoming, Ohio. He's watching on the left, and that's Grandpa wearing a jersey. And they're saying, come on now, let's get it in number 5's hands. He's got a big one in him. Let's do it. Third down and 4. They're looking for him across the middle. They go down deeper. Beautiful throw that time to Labasco. Maybe Boyer's best throw of the game.
Absolutely. Labasco ran that post corner again. You're crossing right here. Here's Fleming going in motion. He crossed, but it's this guy out here that runs the thing. Comes in, goes downfield, comes to the inside a few steps, and then runs the out. First time Derek Strait let the receiver fake him to the inside and get back outside.
And Matt May, the center, shaken up and receiving medical attention. He's been a fine member of that offensive line for the Air Force Academy, so we will take a break while they tend to it. So Chad Henning, one of the greatest players ever in Air Force Academy history, forced to leave the Dallas Cowboys because of an injury, and soon we'll be chatting with Chad and Jack. Meanwhile, out of the field, we've got a 1st and 10, and Paul Cancino, the senior from El Paso, will center right now. May, incidentally, was all right. He left under his own power, and I expect him to return to this game. First down, Boyer got time, going to go deep in the overthrow his receiver Palmer, and now let's check in with Jack Arute and Chad.
All right, Chad, did you get an airplane when you came here?
It took me 13 months of pilot training, and I got my name painted on the side of one. That was my plane.
What a great career with the Dallas Cowboys. But I want to ask you, when professional football looms on the horizon, how difficult is it to choose a service academy to use that as the way to get there?
Well, one of the great options that the Air Force Academy offers right now is they do offer you the option to be able to go on and play professional football. You know, 2 years of active duty, but you can do a 3-for-1 tour in the reserves. And I think it's great recruiting for the Air Force for that.
Second down, Jack. We're coming right back to you. Boyer, he's got it that time, short of the first down. Third coming up. Take it away, Jack.
All right, grade the Air Force right now. How are they doing?
They're sticking to their game plan. I mean, they can't afford to make mistakes, and they're just being tenacious. And that's the typical Air Force Academy team is having tenacity and keep at it, keep at it, keep at it. Don't hold them out yet.
Brent, I don't know. You think he's got a little eligibility here left, or are you going to do something with your career?
I'm done. I'm just doing stuff for the Air Force or the athletic department now, marketing and recruiting. That's it.
Brent.
All right, Jack. Thanks a lot. Always good to hear from one of the greats here at the Air Force Academy, and that time it was the great Oklahoma defense. Standing tall with Roy Williams. He's had a monstrous game, and at the end of the game, he'll be a candidate when we select the Chevrolet players of the game from each team. Chevrolet makes a $1,000 contribution to each university's general scholarship fund.
Well, Keith Boyer missed a big play right there. He had an opportunity to really score with a good throw. He overthrew it down the sideline. That really precipitated getting behind the down and distance and forced a punt. Here it goes again. 4 bandits, only 5 people blocking.
See if the Sooners come. Their first bounce. Goes dead inside the 10-yard line. So Hibble and the Sooners will have bad field position, but they lead it 20-3. 6:26 to go in the third, and that storm that we were told certainly passed quickly, didn't it? As our 1st and 10 line is brought to you by Chevrolet. Hibble moves up under center here to get started.
We have 2 backs in the backfield, too. Doesn't happen very often. There's the extra back, the fullback.
Griffin back with a spinning run out near the 15-yard line. Let's check in with John Saunders in New York. John.
All right, Colorado really starting to assert themselves, Brent, against Colorado State. Remember, they've lost a couple of years in a row to them. Bobby Purified, 29 yards, takes it down to the 1-yard line. A lot of power at the end of it. They scored on the next play. Right now, Colorado is up big, 31-7, Brent.
If I was Oregon State and Dennis Erickson, I'd get ready for Fresno State tomorrow night. That team can play a little ball. Second down. And Hibble changing up things. Inside handoff, and here's Griffin to daylight. Griffin is killing the Falcons. He has rushed for some 133 yards with 50. He's rushed for more yards than Nate Hibble has thrown for today.
Well, Griffin and those 5 guys up front, what a beautiful job up front. Those offensive linemen are just kind of manhandling that front 3 that is really trying to play pass rush first, and Mark Mangino has kind of switched it, said, all right, if you want to play that style, we'll work on our running game here today.
Well, it's first down and 10. And he's going to stick right with it. Working on the clock. Bringing it down toward the 5-minute mark here in the third quarter. OU leading by 17. Griffin at 7,000 feet and having carried the ball 16 times for 137 yards. He's going to feel it a little bit. He's had runs of 26, 17, 16, 15 yards here today. Well, he's been the offensive star for the Sooners. No question about that. And it took Oklahoma a little while to get there with him. Smith just went airborne to save the day.
Quentin Griffin made Matt McCraney miss right at the line of scrimmage, but the ball popped out.
So I mentioned this game, and Heisman candidate Ken Simonton tomorrow evening at 9:30 Eastern. You can see the Oregon State Beavers against Fresno State. And Fresno State with an outstanding quarterback, Carr. He beat Colorado last week, and Colorado's impressive today against Colorado State. Complete.
Oklahoma, Chuck Long, Mark Mangino, the two coordinators for this offense, has adjusted very well to the scheme. If you're going to take away Quentin Griffin in the passing game, those little stop hooks, 5-8 yards right up over the line of scrimmage right there, are almost gimmicks.
Woolfolk's second catch of the day. He had the big one earlier, remember? Now he's had 2 for 62 yards. Set up a touchdown with that big catch. Get a fresh set of downs. Here comes Griffin again. They cannot stop him. He's to the 40-yard line, 14 more yards, and Griffin 18 carries now for 154 yards. Watch this offensive line.
They're just pushing him around. You come up with 3-man defensive line. You're thinking pass. You're thinking get to the passer. But look at those. Romero does a beautiful job. Up front. Wes Sims, number 60, does a beautiful job on that play, just hooking his man and creating that big seam inside.
And Sims is a redshirt freshman from Weatherford, Oklahoma.
6'5", over 300 pounds.
Next to big Frank Romero on that side. Now works back in as running back. Hibble off a play fake. Moving, and there's a penalty flag. Mackey, the receiver, at the 30-yard line, and the flag is down.
Complete. Damian Mackey.
I wonder if they're going to call offensive pass interference here. I did not see anything happen on that play.
Penalty mark.
Offensive
exactly
pass
what it is.
interference. It had to happen on the outside of the field, away from the ball.
Well, tomorrow ABC Sports continues to bring you the excitement of the Indy Racing League. Points leader Sam Hornish Jr. and Buddy Lazier here of Colorado head the field at the Delphi Automotive Indy 300 tomorrow live at 4 Eastern, 1 Pacific on ABC.
Those are Big 12 referees, is that right?
Big 12.
Still anybody's ball game here, 20-3. Oklahoma desperately wants to put this game away. One more touchdown and they could.
On the offense, 15 yards from the previous spot. Repeat the down.
Let's see if it's a good call. To the outside, Savage, boy, he's blocking downfield, but it was really the defender grabbing his jersey and pulling him into him. I guess that was trickery.
Are we sure that was the penalty? That would be my only observation on that picture, because it looked to me.
Scanned the field. And we couldn't find anything. That's the best we came to.
Yeah, it's possible. It was a good picture. I agree with the truck that time. I like looking at that.
If that's the call, I can see why Bobby's a little upset.
2:50 now. First and 25.
Oh, an
No
audible.
confusion.
A little audible here. First time I've seen him call an audible all game.
Oh, baby. Oh, the Air Force Overstreet. I got to tell you, Jeff Overstreet, the coaches told us yesterday that this sophomore from Texas was going to be a big-time football player for them, and he's been all over the place, and they have been under fire. I like Overstreet.
The word was a potential star, and you can see he runs, locks on. Of course, that was the tight end he was covering, so maybe you look a little quicker when you're covering the tight end.
Now, wait a minute. Smith's pretty quick now.
Still a tight end.
You don't want to hear that. When he was looking at his videotape, he's going to say, what's Mr. Danielson talking about? I can move. Second down now. That's incomplete, and we go to third down. So the tenacious Air Force Academy trying to hang in it against the defending national champions. For Gary Danielson and Jack Arute, I'm Brent Musburger. Glad you're along with us today as college football gets going on Labor Day weekend. The NFL going to take this weekend off and start its regular season the week after Labor Day, which is an outstanding business decision for them. But it did give the colleges center stage this weekend. Folks from Oklahoma way taking a holiday, coming up here to Colorado in their motorhomes. The Sooner Nation is here. Uneasy at times in this game. Hibble's got great time, and Smith can't get to it. They're forced to punt, and the Academy's right there.
He could have had that throw, too, to Smith. It was the seam play. Smith kind of faked out like he was going to go to the corner. Watch Smith right here. He'll come down, lean out, create space, and the throw was there. Could have had it. Watch him lean out and get inside. That's a play that could have been completed. A good throw there gets him close to a first down.
So Jeff Ferguson on to punt again. Oklahoma's had great coverage. Straight gets down. But the young man Palmer pounced on it, and he's got it.
Ferguson's punt is covered by Leotis Palmer. First down, Falcons on the 11.
Easiest thing to do, just take your eye off the ball, get ready to run, try to do something a little bit before you're supposed to do it. The sequence wasn't right, and Palmer saves the day. Causes the problem, solves the problem.
Boyer and the Air Force Academy haven't been able to solve the defense. The OU defense. Boyer's going to pitch. Almost run out of bounds, and there was Everidge in pursuit again, getting him out of bounds. Let's check in with Jack Arute. Jack.
Well, Brent, the Oklahoma Sooner defense has been motivated all week by one number, 180. That's how many yards the OU defense allowed in the final quarter of the North Carolina game after holding the Tar Heels to a total of 90 yards in the first three quarters. Mike Stoops told us that he used it as motivation all week. Rocky Kalmus told me, man, they're ashamed of that.
Second down and 5. Boyer pulls out, flushed out. Oh, there's Everidge over there on the other side on coverage. I'm telling you, what a football player number 7 is. And we take a look at the total yards today. This OU defense has given up 207 yards total, and Oklahoma has put a 305 up on the Air Force Academy.
Everidge started 2 games a year ago as a freshman. He's a high school quarterback, and you can see what type of athlete he is.
But it was that inside push that forced Boyer out of his comfort zone that really disrupted that play to begin with. And now the line judge says we've got a timeout. Well, we're going to start a new feature this year, and Jack Arute volunteered to do it. So we said, well, let's call it You Don't Know Jack, because we really don't know Jack. And here's where he went, to the classroom.
Evan from Sterling, Virginia wants to know what's one of the toughest courses at the Air Force Academy. We checked, and one of them is advanced organic chemistry.
From transition state theory and from Boltzmann's law of distribution and the partition of energy states, we arrive at the Eyring equation. Mr. Root, the Eyring equation does not account for one important quantum mechanical principle. What is that principle?
Brent?
Jack, you dumb. No, never mind. Jack, it's tunneling. Everybody knows that. Why, Gary gave me the answer.
Brent, is that...
You know, Brent, I was busy trying to get my car. I didn't know that you had to worry about planes and tunneling. I'd like to remind people at abc.com you can send questions or ideas in to You Don't Know Jack for future shows.
Brent, now, is that tunneling like underground or tunneling like tunnel vision is what I want to know. Can you be more specific?
You didn't ask me to be specific here, Professor. Now it's Boyer back.
What's it?
Out of his hands. Was that a fumble or was it a forward pass?
I think he threw it just as he let go of the ball. It was Corey
hit
Heineke that time, coming from behind.
Let's just see what happened. There is a penalty flag thrown down on the play.
I think the
arm may have been coming forward as he was, impacted by Heineke. Yeah, that'll do it.
Yep, and there was nobody to throw to, and that's why Boyer held on so long.
That's a big play for Fisher to bury right here.
Bobby Stoops is just beside himself. He's going, no, wait a second. We got faster guys. There's Mike Stoops. It doesn't matter. Just say Stoops. They're always beside themselves.
Now watch Mike go to work. Now Bobby's turn.
Yep.
Now these are a couple guys from Youngstown, Ohio, folks.
I'll tell you.
They're from a football family.
How about that
their
mother?
father
They could
was a
handle
coach.
Downfield, let's see. It was holding downfield on the receiver. That's Antonio Perkins.
Actually, it was a good call.
No, we got it right. Right, all right.
Grabbed him. I mean, Boyer bringing the option. There's that pitch. And Oklahoma was ready for it. Tom Hyer couldn't do much with the football.
I'll tell you what play I think is there for the Air Force. On first down especially, they can get another one, is run the option, pitch it, halfback pass. Because the corners are coming up after they see the option, and the safety is not in the play at all.
What a great point that is. I wonder if any of Fisher's halfbacks.
Well, they threw it in practice.
Didn't we see it in practice?
Yes, they threw it in practice.
And he threw a great pass.
Yes, they also they threw the throwback to the quarterback, too. They can't get outside the
tackling. Williams has been the most impressive tackler on the field today. Well, no one has gotten away from number 38.
No, he's a monster, and he's really playing a monster back because he knows it's a running game. He's almost the 8th man up on every play. He's playing a glorified linebacker spot, and when he gets you, he gets you.
You know, it's going to be hard choosing the MVP from this defense, folks. There's a lot of candidates.
It's down to 2 for me.
I may opt for the punter.
Well, he's not on defense, is he?
He's the best defensive player you got.
My question was harder than yours.
Got time. Nobody open. Now stop.
Oh, what a
Here's Fleming. That's a first down. Was he across the line of scrimmage, though?
I don't think
he was. Across the line? The OU coaches insist that he broke the line. And they're talking to the wrong guy. The guy they're complaining to, and he's right in his chest. He can't do anything about it. The field judge's not going to make that call.
He was very close. That's 3 of them. You had the pass offensive thing. Now, let's see. The line of scrimmage is right at the line. Right at the line. The 25-yard line. Let's see if he crosses. He's right on the line.
It was close.
Is the line fair ball or is it foul ball? It is football. You know, tennis, if you hit the line, it's out. Now, baseball, you hit the line, it's in. Football, what is it? You're out.
I'm kind of listening to Stoops and the OU sideline a little bit that time because they were right there. They really had it. Anyway, we're coming down to the last 40 seconds on it.
That's 3 bad calls. Look at that, he's saying. We had the offensive interference, we had the defensive interference, and that one right there.
Oh, yeah. Come to Colorado Springs, lads, in September.
And who's he a protege of, Bob Stoops? Steve Spurrier. That looks familiar. Oh, I don't like that one.
Deflected, intercepted, picked off. Rocky Kalmus has got it. And the former the day.
I think it was Heineke, number 89, bottom of your screen. Yes, he's the one who tips it. Kalmus, who's always where the ball is the one who grabs it. And look at those moves. I guess that's why he's got a 20, right? I can think of some other 20s that have played for Oklahoma. It was Heineke, number 89. Did not at all like the first down call. Short pass into the sideline, very difficult throw.
Now let's see if Nate Hibble and Griffin can get in. Not that time, and Monty Coleman, an outside linebacker, and the football, I believe, was whistled down, wasn't it?
Yes. Forward progress, whistle, whatever, but that's not a fumble.
So there's Kalmus, the young man who's certainly the leading candidate for the Butkus, and we think he's going to deserve some consideration for a Heisman Trophy. Why not, folks? Have they ever given a Heisman to a linebacker? I don't think so. No. There's Mike back there with his men of passion. There's Lehman, the young linebacker. So Griffin with 155 yards rushing on the day. Then it is Kalmus with the big interception. We've come to the end of 3, and we'll be back after this message and a word from our ABC stations. And Hibble overthrew Griffin on the first play of the fourth quarter. So that brings us now to 3rd and 9 coming up. This is a big play for Stoops and the Sooners in this game, who can't put the Air Force Academy away. At least they've been unable to so far.
No way Oklahoma is going to give away a field goal here. They got man-on-man coverage to the bottom right here. They could throw the fade, an easy throw.
Dropped it. A drop ball in the end zone.
I think Mayo might have got his hand in there. Got his hand in the Mayo
was the receiver, and it looked like he'd wrapped one up in the end zone, but the field goal unit is trotting onto the field, and the way Mayo is reacting, you bet he got his hand in there.
That was the coverage, man-to-man. You knew it. I drew it up first. There's it is, one-on-one. Instead of going the fade, they come inside. It's an easy throw. Actually, yes, I think he got his hand in there, but that was not a very good route. He should have squared it off. That was an easy touchdown.
So here's Duncan. And he slips it through. A little more breathing room now. The lead is 20. 23-3. Timeout.
Paul Mayo, let's see. Looks like he just actually jarred Woolfolk on this thing. Just as the ball arrived, he arrived. The reason? A poor finish of the route. The guy should come straight across. Watch how he fades into the end zone away from the ball. Did he come across straight? He had a touchdown.
Great leg. Out on the 20-yard line. Boy, when you're trying to repeat as national champion, it's great to have a field goal kicker and a punter like Oklahoma has. And now we're going to switch quarterbacks. This is Brian Blue, and folks, what a moment this is for him. He's from Edmond, Oklahoma. And when the new coaches, Bob Stoops, arrived on the scene in Norman, they were out of scholarships. Boy, watch. Blue was offered to walk on at Oklahoma. And here is a young man. You can just imagine how he feels coming out here out of Edmond, Oklahoma. A chance now to do something. There's the pitch. And a good-looking pitch. Palmer, he got it downfield. That was a very nice play that Blue came in and ran.
Brian Blue, a little more quicker running the ball, not as strong, a little more quickness, and he was Mr. Everything coming out of Oklahoma City.
Second down.
All the awards. Whoop. Welcome to college football from Roy Williams right there.
Second down and 4. And we'll see if young Brian can move the Falcons.
Not as good a throw.
I like the timing on that pitch. He's good with the ball. Oh, welcome to big-time college football at number 7. My name is Mr. Everidge, and let's check in with Mr. Saunders in New York.
Brent, Michigan trying to hold off Miami of Ohio, playing them very tough. Chris Perry takes a handoff. Calvin Bell going the other way in the reverse, takes it 12 yards in. Nobody gets a hand on him for the touchdown as Michigan opens up a little bit of breathing room at 24-6. Brent.
And John DeBar, 11 of 20. His debut with young Mr. Henson playing baseball, 1st and 10 now. And now we'll see. Fleming in the air. Incomplete because of Derek Strait. He makes the play with Fleming about to haul in the long pass from Brian Blue.
Derek Strait, who made the big play against Oklahoma State last year in that last drive tip-away fade pass. He does the same thing. The ball hangs a little bit and allows Strait to find it, close ground, and ball fades. And he comes in here and pops it out with his right hand.
Ball appeared to be slipping a little bit, too.
Yeah, just
watch and see
slow.
if Fleming was losing a grasp here on this ball.
Fleming has to stop.
You bet he was. All right, here comes Blue. Great fake. Says, how do you do?
So now it gets into straight. Now the first one he got Roy Williams. The second one he got Elbridge, and the third one he got Kalmus. He found all their All-Americans.
Oh my! And I mean, those were not baby hits.
No, all 3 of them.
3rd down and 12. What a D this is.
And this is not really an offense that brings out the best in this defense. You have to play more position defense here, and they're really not flying around until they find the ball.
And they're flying now. 3rd and 12. High, overthrew Fleming. And the Air Force forced to punt. But Blue, he brought a little excitement to the game, didn't he? It was kind of fun.
Well, he brought excitement to the Oklahoma defense, I'll tell you that.
Oh, yes. There aren't many quarterbacks who are going to enjoy playing against this Oklahoma defense this year. You can write that one down right now. This is a defense that can take you to back-to-back national championships with a kicking game that goes along with it. They just need that offense just to hang on to the football, not make silly mistakes.
I think if I was Oklahoma, I'd give Jason White an opportunity to play too. I think they may need both of them to win the championship.
He's the young backup quarterback from Tuttle, Oklahoma. We haven't seen him today. Timeout. 13:30 to go. OU leads at 23-3, and our 1st and 10 line is presented by Chrysler. Nate Hibble, the junior who transferred from the University of Georgia. And behind him, Quentin Griffin has rushed 19 times today for 155 yards. He's rushed for more yards than Hibble has thrown for, 155 to 137. He has been the mainstay. Coming again, adding to it, to the 43-yard line and down. Joe Below makes a stop.
Been pretty easy to run the ball. That offensive line is a mismatch. The receivers are a mismatch. The quarterback, Nate Hibble, though, 12 for 29. Really doesn't look like he has the full offense at his grasp that Oklahoma Sooner fans saw last year. Jason White and him were in a battle in spring. They both came out co-number ones. Hibble played a little bit better, and no matter who they did.
To daylight, close to the 5-yard line, moving in on 200 yards here today. He is 4 shy with 24 carries. What a game for Quentin Griffin, who, folks, is only a junior. 7,000 feet, don't tell that to Quentin. Not even noticing.
Isn't that nice to see a running back after a long run not come begging out of the game?
It is. It's refreshing.
Yes, it absolutely is. I always hate that. Guy runs a long run and he wants out.
And if he's going to get the touchdown, get the 200 with it. 1st and goal. He's going, but he's short. Boy, he was slipping free of Longhorns down in Big D last year.
Here's how the numbers are working against Air Force. They're forced to put 6 defensive backs to cover the 4 wide receivers out there because with the combo coverages. That means Oklahoma has 7 players to go against 5 people to stop the run. 7 against 5, you might as well do it. They've just been punishing those numbers.
Stoops sent in a fullback. And Chris Toney, the sophomore, is offset. He can lead the way for Griffin on this play before the snap.
Penalty marker.
They've had a few of those. The Oklahoma offense, you know that they've hurt themselves. Nobody knows it better than Coach Stoops. Check in with Jack.
Brent, let's tell you a little bit about Jefferson Davis High in Hazleton, Georgia. Nate Hibble before last week when he played in Carolina. Well, the last game he played was for Jefferson Davis High and his dad, Tom. Listen, he threw for 3,600 yards, 38 TDs in his high school career.
Yeah, he was a fine one. Went to Georgia, then transferred over to Oklahoma. This is a second down play. Inside the 10-yard line. Griffin 2 yards away from 200. Hibble lobs it for the touchdown. Put it in the hands of Mark Clayton, the redshirt freshman from Arlington, Texas.
That was the play I thought they were going to try to get last time they were down there. One-on-one coverage to the outside. They're comboing the slot all the time. You give the guy to this guy, it's an easy TD because you got one-on-one coverage to the outside. Fake in, slide to the outside, and boy, oh boy, is that perfect?
Right on the money.
Yep.
What a nice throw that was to Clayton, huh? That's his first catch of the game, and it's a good one. An 8-yard touchdown reception.
And that means 8 different players have caught passes.
Duncan adds the extra point. And so the Sooners, a team stocking back-to-back national championships. A team worthy of still being #1, folks. They lead it 33 with 8:50 to go. Great moment for a young man making his first catch here. Road trip, redshirt freshman. And Griffin carried 6 times on that scoring drive, but he's still 2 yards shy of 200 yards with 8:50 to go. And you wonder.
Yeah, they'll put him in to get the 2, and then that's all he'll play.
And Hibble has thrown 2 touchdown passes in this game today. He's 14 of 31 for 161 yards. And after an interception early in the game, he settled in. He had Woolfolk with a long one. And he got Smith, his roommate, for a score. Then Norman. He was spreading the ball around just like Josh Heupel did, and Clayton for his second touchdown pass of the game. Young Hibble starting to grow up in this offense, wouldn't you say, Gary?
Well, he has potential. There's no doubt about that. He's got a good arm, good body, and a good offense to run. Nice system, isn't it?
It's a beauty. And it's nice to have a running back like Griffin behind you. So, Blue with some good ball handling.
Oh, man, that looked like a train wreck coming up there. Everidge again.
Blue, the ball carrier. Brought down by
So Blue scrambles out of there, diving toward that first down marker, and record-setting crowd. And the Air Force Academy thanks all you folks from Oklahoma. Some 15,000 in red out here today. The Sooner Nation has enjoyed it. They gave them a parking lot for their motorhomes, those who came that way.
On the offense, 10 yards from the spot of the ball. Repeat first down.
They gave a second parking lot for the covered wagons for those who came that way. And they've got the big lot where they had the pregame party out there. Sooner fans, man, they'll travel. They were down in Miami in force last year. Deflected again by big number 87, Creeshon. He's a senior from Houston. He got a paw on that one.
That's very similar to the Hibble pass a week ago against North Carolina. When a right-handed quarterback throws to his left, his arm closer to the line of scrimmage, it puts it in play for those defensive ends to knock it down.
And folks, that OU fan has not lost his mind. The Rose Bowl is right. That's where the BCS championship game will be played this year between the two teams ranked 1 and 2. And the Sooners are going to be a huge factor in that chase for the Roses this year. And wouldn't Oklahoma fans love to go to Pasadena? Here's the pitch, but it's not a real good one. The running back had to kind of cut back, and Butler was in trouble.
Anthony Butler with the football.
Time permits. Stay tuned for the Thrifty Car Rental postgame report. Scores and highlights from across the country. John and Terry.
Just think about what this Oklahoma defense has done. I mean, this Air Force team led the the Mountain West Conference in total offense, scoring, rushing, pass efficiency, third down efficiency just a year ago. And today, superior athletes have throttled this offense.
This half, they have held the Air Force to 61 yards. They have seized control. Intercepted. Picked off by Antonio Perkins, who slides to the 3-yard line. And now OU, after intercepting Brian Blue, can put even more on the board.
This time it was a zone. Perkins right here lets the receiver go by him and then just reads the quarterback. His eyes, watch this. Zone coverage, let him go, and then just sink back there. Take the easy throw. Blue thought he had man-to-man coverage. Little pressure in his face. Threw it out there to one of the guys in right.
And folks, Griffin is coming back out.
Yep.
And the ball is just inside that 4-yard line, which means that officially it'll be measured as 3. It's in the 4-yard line, so if he can score from here, he'd break 200. Here he comes. In for 200 yards and the touchdown. What a day for Griffin. The big little man.
The perfect back. Perfect system. Get those big offensive linemen up front. Get them over 300 pounds. Teach them how to pass block. Find 5 or 6 receivers that can catch it. And then find yourself a little sprinter to follow in behind.
And 26 carries on the day. And Duncan slashing the extra point across. So Griffin pounding in for his first touchdown, his 26th carry, 201 yards on the day, and 10 runs of 10 or more yards. What a day. I'm out.
McDonald's restaurant.
Great adjustment by the Oklahoma coaching staff here today. The Air Force determined to take away that short passing game. So the Sooner coaches turned it over to number 22. 26 carries for 201 yards and a touchdown for Griffin. It's been a tough afternoon and opener for the Air Force. And of course, it gets a little bit easier next week for them as this kick sails out of the end zone. And we'll remind you that ABC Sports presentation of college football is brought to you by Chrysler. We're reinventing the passion for driving. Morgan Stanley, formerly Morgan Stanley, Dean Witter. Move your money, get well connected. Original Coors, nothing beats an original. And Capital One, what's in your wallet? So next week for the Air Force Academy, they'll be here to Tennessee Tech. And then their Mountain West schedule begins against Utah. And of course, 2 games they always point for later in their schedule, Army-Navy. And Fisher DeBerry always lists the Commander-in-Chief's trophy as his #1 goal of the year. And here's what he had to say.
That trophy means an awful lot to us, and that is the #1 goal in our football program. And the day I took the job here in 1983, I established that as the #1 goal, and it's for bragging rights in the military, and those, are pretty important rights.
And folks, he is 28-6 against Army and Navy. There is the Commander-in-Chief's trophy. And they'd love to have President George W. Bush visit this campus and present him with that trophy all over again. There's Anthony Butler, the ball carrier for the Air Force Academy. So they stepped up and took on the defending champions today. But you better believe the Air Force Academy will be back behind Fisher DeBerry Only Joe Paterno at Penn State and Bobby Bowden at Florida State have been at their schools longer than DeBerry in his 18th year at the Air Force Academy. 6:10 remaining here in Colorado Springs. And a reminder of prime time tonight. We'll split the country. Better have a dish or a good sports pub in the neighborhood. Miami, Penn State, Wisconsin, Oregon. Gary Danielson guarantees us that Miami and Wisconsin will win.
You picked Penn State and Oregon, right? I just took the opposites of that one. Well, Mike Stoops and Brent Venables has called off the first team defense. Kelmas is still in there, but we got a whole new secondary in there.
Mike thought he detected something on the field. You say, how can you not? You know, look at that. They got to throw the flag right there.
How would you like to be the mother of that group when they come home, or as they were growing up?
First down, Air Force.
Yeah, they are the most animated coaches in the world. And
well, I know one more animated coach.
Well, yeah, but he's animated around about one position.
It's true.
I haven't seen Stoopsy yank it out his quarterbacks like Mr. Spurrier does. First down. He's back. Wide open and incomplete. And you know, the great coaching turnarounds in modern football history. What was turned in by Bob Stoops. And the Blue feeling some of the pain of playing against this defense. There's head coaches Sauer, redone by Joe Castiglione, brother Mike. And now outside of Spurrier, he's the highest salaried coach in college football, folks. Makes over $2 million a year, and deservedly so with the way he turned that Oklahoma team around as John Courtney, the backup punter, will try it now. He'll get a little playing time for the Air Force Academy.
Unless he's renegotiated again. So there's what, 3 of them? That ain't bad. Keep winning, you get more money.
What a beauty that is. Mackey let this one be downed inside the 10-yard line. Let's check in with Jack Abreu. Jack.
We talked to Brian Blue and asked him what a typical day at the Air Force Academy was like. Listen to this rundown. 6 o'clock, wake up, make sure the room is clean, shoes are shined, uniform is ironed. 7 o'clock, breakfast. 7:30 to 11:20, class. 11:30 to 12, eat lunch. 12 to 12:20, football meetings. 12:30 to 1:30, either study or do homework. 1:30, head to football. 1:30 to 6, get taped football meetings. 6:15 to 6:45, eat dinner. 7 to 8, military time in the squadron. 8 to 11, do homework. 11:30, get to bed so I can get rested and be ready for tomorrow.
Yeah, it's
when do you watch TV? How do you do that? You can't go to college without watching TV, can you?
Jason White. You wanted to see him? So Stoopsy says, Gary, here he is. You can take a look at
I think Oklahoma will probably play both of these guys before the season's over. Very seldom today one guy go the whole year like Josh Heupel. Even as good as Oklahoma was last year, Heupel had to win 2 or 3 games by himself towards the end of the season.
Works.
No, that works.
You know, the one game that you go back on when they were in deep, deep trouble. You and I were there at Texas A&M. And that interception that was thrown late. Marshall.
That and the Oklahoma State game, but late when they really became the #1 team and everybody was pointing on, A&M had them that day, didn't they?
They sure did. That'll be another good game. We've overlooked A&M a little bit here today. That's another, that team could be a big sleeper.
Yeah, I like Mark
in the Big 12. Ferris could mature. You bet. So here's one of the backup backs, and that's Estes, number 33, getting a call here. So Quentin Griffin on the day, 26 carries, 201 yards, and a touchdown. And you'll see his name show up on some of the Heisman watch lists. Illinois with a huge day out in Berkeley. Georgia opens the Mark Richt era with 45 on Arkansas State. Louisville for John Smith, a big win over Kentucky. The Wildcats having had all those problems in the offseason. Iowa looking to come back. Juggling the ball down on the ground. And the Air Force recovered it.
Griffin's back in the game. Griffin has a little bit of a habit of taking the ball with his hands occasionally. I noticed it when he was in there with Hibble. It's okay if you have the quarterback you usually work with, but let's see if this one didn't hit him in the spot he thought it was gonna. See, he closed just a bit early on the ball that time. A little smaller running back, and the ball's right on the ground.
Nate Osborne recovered it.
I'm surprised.
Hey, I'd like to see the Air Force get a touchdown. Doesn't mean much on the scoreboard.
Well, they've already
up by
scored
34.
more than Florida State did in the game.
You're right.
3-2. What do you want?
First down. Well, the fullback and the quarterback were really locked up on that one, weren't they?
Yeah, they were. That's because we got another quarterback, I think, in the game. It's Harridge.
That's Chance
11.
Harridge.
Yep.
He's another one from Georgia. So Chance Harridge, the third quarterback.
And I don't think anybody from the Air Force Academy, any of their fans, coaching staff, would blame anything on Keith Boye in this game. Obviously, an outmatched team. Can't really judge your quarterback against a team that's better than you, basically 11 spots.
Fumble! He's got it! In a foot race for the end zone. Heineke! He's got a chance to score! Touchdown! Oklahoma! Give him a cold Heineken!
Continues to just cause turnovers, don't they?
Oh, unbelievable. Yes. Ball came free. Now Duncan. And OU pulls away late.
Now,
last week they did it early, and this week late.
I just watch Heineke here. Big man, 240-some pounds, bottom of your screen right here. He comes from the backside as Harridge kind of has the ball popped loose and it goes backwards. It was stripped inside. Now, I think it was Jimmy Wilkerson who stripped it, number 45. Great balance by Heineke. And then all the way down the field, he does the Nest T dive and give him the cold one. Is that what you said?
Indeed.
I think it was Wilkerson.
Must have been thinking about what you and I are going to do when we get out of here, my friend.
Well, we've got probably 2 or 3 hours to get anywhere after this game, so.
I don't know about you, but I got the Air Force getting me out of here, my friend.
Nice looking defensive end. Put on weight after he got to the couch. Came in as a 220-pounder and now goes about 242. That's pretty typical of modern-day defensive ends and linemen nowadays. You recruit height, and then you grow. Well, you give the Oklahoma defense today an A+, folks. That's about all you can say about it, really. They were just awesome. Yeah, 3 turnovers again, and they are a turnover machine. Great players at every level. Secondary, linebackers, and defensive line. Oh, no, these guys are smiling now. What's going on here? I mean, last week, their defense scored 2 touchdowns against North Carolina. Kalmus on the fumble, straight on the interception. They also had a kickoff return. They forced 5 turnovers against the Tar Heels, and today they take it to Fisher DeBerry and the Air Force Academy. Maybe a tough couple days for the Mountain West. Colorado State, UNLV, and Air Force all kind of tough. The gusts here, 3 straight games. So here's the turnovers today with this great OU defense. Kalmus on the deflection. The fumble was recovered. Then there was the interception. And finally, the Heineke touchdown. Oh, yeah, I forgot the one by Blue where he threw the ball back. That's exactly right. It's 4. So they have turned it over 4 times. And that, I believe, that's 9 in 2 games. That'll win you. And Oklahoma scored 17 today following the turnovers. And while we've got time, let me thank some folks who mean a lot to the program here on ABC. The executive producer of ABC Sports is Howard Katz.
The executive producer of ABC's College Football, John Filippelli. The coordinating producer of college football on ABC, and our game producer today, Bob Goodrich. The director, Larry Cam. The technical director, Monty Poling. The associate producer, Mitch Green. Associate director, Brian Fahey. Director of production, Bob Toms. And our PAs, Kirk Thomas and Tim McDermott, two guys still in search of nicknames. So a good job by one and all. And Harridge hanging in there at quarterback. So I guess the last piece of business is to give the Chevy players of the game, and despite the fact that we could give it to any of a half dozen OU defenders, there's no question about Quentin Griffin here today. I mean, he came in and picked it up for this offense, rushed for better than 200 yards, 26 carries, marvelous job. And for the Air Force Academy, Jeff Overstreet, their young safety, 8 tackles on the game, and a recognition of their efforts. Chevrolet makes a $1,000 contribution to each university's general scholarship fund.
How about a nice little game ball for that offensive line, too?
Yes, indeed. What a great job. Folks, don't forget next Saturday night. It's a huge one. The Fighting Irish of Notre Dame are taking on Nebraska. Again, our final score, 44-3. ABC Sports Online at ESPN.com. Keyword ABC Sports. This has been a presentation of ABC Sports, continuing the tradition of excellence. Stay tuned. The Thrifty Car Rental postgame report is coming up. So long, everybody.